Hello there, Christians. How are you doing? Say, you remember the church of Laodicea, don't you? That's right, the one in Revelation that was neither hot nor cold. It was lukewarm, and so Jesus vomited it out of his mouth. Yeah, that one. Let me ask you an awkward question here. You're not going to that church, are you? Well, I realize you want your answer to be no, but what are the facts? Let's look at a few things. Since January of 1973, approximately 60 million of our most innocent and helpless brothers and sisters have been slaughtered in their mother's womb at abortion facilities around the country, and for no better reason than that their existence was, well, inconvenient. So, what have you and your church done about that? Not too long ago, the Supreme Court decided that something which God had forbidden was actually okay. That's right, homosexual marriage. And what God called an abomination, the court has now called the law of the land. So, what have you and your church done about that? For decades now, the mythical notion of separation of church and state has been used to exile God from government, expel him from our schools, and minimize and marginalize his importance in society in general, with devastating effects. So tell me, what have you and your church done about that? And while the influence of the Christian church is declining, immorality and crime are rising, and Islam is on the march. So what have you and your church done about that? Now, if the best answer you, your church, and your pastor can come up with is, well, what else can we do but pray? Well, maybe you need another church. Now, don't get me wrong. Prayer is important. It's a great start. It's a horrible finish. You see, prayer was intended to be a prelude to effective action, not an excuse for inaction. And if all you're doing is folding your hands, offering up a few words now and then you think God's got it covered, you go back and sit on the couch and watch television for a while, you're wrong. God is looking for partners, not parasites. After you offer up your petition, he wants to see you put on your work gloves, put on your work boots, and jump in the mud and go to work, and then he'll show up. But if your church isn't doing that, if your church isn't doing something, and like I said, you need another church. And here it is. The American Christian Patriot Church. This is a church like none other you have ever seen before. This is not a collection of pew warmers and page turners. This is a fighting organization, and it's comprised of warriors. Warriors for God and for God's cause. We're here to make a difference. Our mission is to rebuild the United States of America, spiritually, politically, and economically, according to biblical principles and the ideals of the founders. And we have a bold new plan for doing that. Now, don't think we're going to urge you to write more letters, send more emails, and make more telephone calls to your representatives. Has that really accomplished anything? No. Don't think that we're going to tell you to vote for this Republican or for that Democrat. What has that accomplished? They're the ones who created this mess, and they have absolutely no idea how to fix it. Well, if the politicians can't get the job done, then maybe it's high time for the church to rise up and do it instead. And that's what the Christian Patriot Church is going to do. We have a bold new plan that can actually allow us to begin to end abortion in areas of this country in a matter of months, not years or decades. We have a bold new plan that will allow us to put an end to homosexual marriage in areas of this country in a matter of months, not years or decades. We have a bold new plan to stop Islam in its tracks, starting now. We have a bold new plan to put God back on the throne and to rebuild America, the great, the good, and the godly. So what is this plan? You're going to have to tune in. So how do you join the American Christian Patriot Church? Well, we're based in San Bernardino, California. That's right, the same San Bernardino that was the site of the worst Islamic terrorist attack on American soil since 9/11. But odds are many of you won't be able to come here for our physical meetings on Tuesday evenings. But you probably can go to your computer, turn it on, and type in www.acpc.org. acpcusa.org. That's ACPC for American Christian Patriot Church. USA, you know what that's for, .org. You'll be able to hear our sermons. You'll be able to listen to the discussions that we have. You'll be able to find out about this amazing plan we have to begin reforming America starting right now. You'll find how you can get involved. So Christians, if you're content with being lukewarm, then be lukewarm. I'm sure Jesus' vomit will warm you up soon enough. But if you're tired of being lukewarm, if you're tired of being ineffective, if you're tired of churches and pastors that don't know how to fix this nation, then join us. We're going to make a difference for God and country. The American Christian Patriot Church.